after the Parkland shooting, at that time, Dr. Green and I had a conversation that day. And the topic was, what are we going to do to keep our schools safe? As you know, we have SROs in middle schools and high schools, but at that particular time we had no security whatsoever in elementary schools. So we met with the school board, and in the very beginning they were adamant that they wanted an SRO or a trained deputy or officer in the elementary schools. And we did that within 2 weeks after the Parkland shooting, so that's where it began. And then later on, with the legislation being passed, with the funds being available for either SROs for counties or the guardians, unfortunately, they didn't believe they had the funds to continue with SROs in the elementary. So they decided that the guardians would have to be the next best thing.
I have two schools, I have one high school and an elementary school. And at Palmetto High School, we added an additional school resource officer. And we already had one at Palmetto Elementary. We have 3 charter schools, and they added guardians. So we work closely with those guardians.
Some of the feedback was if an event happened here at one of our schools with all the chains and the padlocks, how would we get in? Just recently, we started in the past year at the mayor's direction, the Bradenton Blue Foundation. That's an organization that helps provide funding for safety and wellness issues, and particularly juvenile type issues. We just last week went to them and asked them for $6,000 to provide those safety tools for the trunks of our cruisers. So every squad now is going to have 2 sets of those tools in their cars. As well, I think Miss Young, where is she? She mentioned to me last week, she goes, I just became a Take Stock in Children mentor. And she goes, and I was so surprised and warmed to see that you saw 6 or 7 of my officers in the class to learn how to become a mentor. You may have noticed in the paper a couple weeks ago, one of the sheriffs came out and said, some of these school resource officers need backups. I said, well, what better backup than if I have one of my officers sitting in a classroom helping mentor these kids? And so the call went out. We have a program at Bradenton. We'll pay them to go and mentor during their workday. And so we just put, I think, 12 new mentors in our school that are going to be there at various times.